Now, voters in Iran today are making a big decision whether to re-elect President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Now, he's facing two major challengers who accuse him of hurting the economy and isolating Iran from the West. The winner must get 50% of the vote, otherwise there'll be a runoff election next week. Bloomberg's Ladan Nassari joins me now by phone from Tehran. And Ladan, what kind of turnout are you seeing so far?
The turnout has been very high so far. I believe that's because Iranians are really realizing that this time the election is going to have big stakes. And this is really showing in the number of people who are queuing in polling stations. There's about an hour wait in most of the polling stations I've been in order for one to be able to cast their ballots.
Now, Ladan, we hear a lot about how elections in the Mideast aren't exactly free or fair. To what extent is Iran different?
Well, Iran is different from some of the countries in the Middle East because it has a parliament president that are directly elected by the people. And so in that sense, I think the level of participation in politics is higher in Iran than it may be in some of the surrounding countries in the Gulf or in the Middle East.
And what issues are voters saying they care the most about as they head to the polls?
Well, Ahmadinejad's core supporters really want a victory for him because they say he has been a popular president. He's been close to people's concerns in the rural areas, and he's been really backing the poorest people. His opponents, on the other hand, say that he has badly damaged Iran's image in the world, and they want a president who will be better, who will manage to take better charge of the economy. Iran has an unemployment rate of about 10%, and the inflation has reached about 24%, and that's a big issue for voters too.
Sure, the economy is certainly on the forefront of voters' minds. What would a win by Mossavi mean, though, for Iran's nuclear program and its relations with the West, which is, of course, so much more important to folks here in the U.S.?
Well, Mossavi would probably be able to strike a more conciliatory tone with the West. He will be able to show a more open face of Iran towards engaging with the U.S., with the West, and basically would be a better choice in order for Iran at this stage in time to reach out its hands to the U.S., as President Barack Obama has suggested.
Now, are there exit polls? Because, of course, that's something we see a lot here in the West, where we can get a sense of who's likely to win. What kind of time frame are we looking at in terms of finding the actual results?
There will be no exit polls, and the polls will be closing later today at 6 p.m. local time in Tehran, and may be extended to later in the evening. So we won't have a good indication of who's the frontrunner or who's likely to win outright, perhaps, until tomorrow during the day in Tehran.
Okay, we'll look for that then. Ladan Nassari, thank you very much from Tehran.